Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cleveland Browns franchise. Welcome to FedEx Field where the Washington Redskins are playing host to the Cleveland Browns. It's week number 7 and the Browns are still undefeated and playing some very strong football to remain that way. Now if you'll remember, they played the Redskins last season and because they looked past the game, the Browns got spanked and were sent home with a huge loss. I don't know as if I'd count on a repeat of last year, but you never know. The quarterback controversy continues here in Washington, but it looks as if Kirk Cousins is going to get the nod for this game. But I'll tell you, I think RG3 is just itching to get his chance. The Redskins, on paper anyway, don't look to stack up against the Browns, but they do have a strong receiving core led by Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson. So if they get that part of their game going, it could spell trouble for the Browns. The Browns are good this season, but can they put aside believing their own hype and get the win? The Redskins win the toss, and with Marino in the backfield, the give is to Marino, and he can't find room getting tackled in the backfield. After a 1-yard loss, the give is to Marino again, and he is tackled in the backfield by Berkevius Mingo. So on 3rd and 13, Cousins goes back to pass, and a long pass to Jackson, and he's going for the touchdown. Redskins! The Browns, with a 3-man rush, are still caught out of position, and Joe Hayden gets burned for the touchdown. I told you about the receiving core for this Redskin team, and they're good. With a score 7-0, Stafford brings them to the line and gives off to Johnson, and he has a wonderful 9-yard pickup up the middle. Stafford goes back to pass, and he rolls right and doesn't see anybody open. He needs to learn how to throw the ball away. So on 3rd and 4, Stafford throws complete to Robert Turbin for the first down. At the 35-yard line, the give is to Robert Turbin again, and he can't get out of the backfield. 3-yard loss on that play, and Stafford throws complete to Josh Gordon over the 40-yard line. So that brings up 3rd and 3. Stafford hands off to Duke, and he doesn't get out of the backfield. That gives the Redskins another opportunity, and from the 25-yard line, the give is to Marino up the middle, and he has a nice 9-yard gain. Just inches to go for the first down, and they give to him to the left side, and he has the first down and more. Now from the 49-yard line, Cousins goes back to pass and is complete over the middle to Jordan Reed. With Marino still the deep back, handoff is to him, and he gets the first down over the 40-yard line of the Browns. Marino is given the ball again, and he's inside the 35 for a nice 5-yard gain. Cousins goes back to pass and is hurried into an incompletion, trying to set up a screen. And that brings on Dustin Hopkins for a 50-yard field goal, and it's off to the left. No good. So from the 40-yard line, Stafford has an empty backfield, goes back to pass, and completes it to Travis Benjamin inside the 40-yard line of the Redskins and out of bounds. Stafford again goes back to pass and is almost sacked, but running up the seam and is tackled by a horde of Redskins. But he's down and he's hurt, injuring his elbow. That will bring on Geno Smith to try to finish this drive, and he gives to Johnson up the middle. 3rd and inches. And Matthew Stafford will return. Johnson gets the ball again and barely makes the first down. Smith gives to Malcolm Johnson this time, and he's almost to the 20-yard line. That brings us to the end of the first quarter with your score 7-0, Redskins. On 2nd and 5. Smith hands off to Duke, and he's inside the 20, and he fumbles the football. Was that really a fumble? The booth is reviewing it. It looked to me like he was down already, laying on his back, and that may be the situation. The call is reversed, and it's now 3rd and 2 for the Browns. Johnson gets the ball, and it's up the middle, and he does not make the sticks. But the Browns stay on the field, and Malcolm Johnson gets the first down just barely. Now on 2nd and 10, Stafford's back in the game. He flips it out to Malcolm Johnson. He's inside the 5. First down and goal for the Browns. Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete in the end zone to Duke Johnson. Rashad Breeland doesn't time that correctly, and it's a touchdown for the Browns. That knots the ball game up at 7 apiece. Cousins goes back to pass, and it's complete to Deshaun Jackson for an 8-yard gain. Cousins back to pass again, and he is sacked by Vernon Hargreaves. And he's injured too, complaining about his chest as he walks off the field. 3rd and 9, that brings on RG3. And he throws an interception to Justin Gilbert. He's inside the 30, tackled out of bounds at the 26. RG3 trying to get it to Pierre Garçon, and Justin Gilbert backs up just enough to jump up and snag that out of the sky. So 2nd and 10 for the Browns. Stafford goes back to pass. Complete over the middle to DeAndre Hopkins. Now let's go to a sideline report with Eurocat Baby.
There is definite excitement here on the Browns sideline after that interception. I was told that they needed something like that to get them jump-started in this game. As far as the injuries are concerned, Matt Stafford, who is already back in the game, has been nursing a bruised elbow on his throwing arm and got it nicked up pretty bad, but is fighting through it. Kirk Cousins, though, has suffered some bruised ribs, and they're going to keep him out of the game for a little bit to ensure it isn't something serious. So it looks like RG3 for the rest of the first half anyway. Maybe longer. It just depends on how bad they feel the injury to Kirk is.
Well, I guess we'll have to see if RG3 can do anything but throw interceptions. From just outside the 15-yard line with Turbin in the backfield, Stafford hands off to Robert Turbin, and he's inside the 10 for a nice 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3. Duke Johnson is inside the 5. Now on 2nd and 5, Turbin's in the backfield, and Stafford goes back to pass and is sacked. Stephen Paya getting him back at the 12. Now on 3rd and goal, Stafford goes back to pass, and it's almost intercepted, broken up by Breeland. That brings on Keimi Fairbairn for a 30-yard chip shot, and it's through. And the Browns take the lead in the ball game, 10-7. RG3 goes back to pass, and it's complete to Deshaun Jackson, and he's got a first down. Now with 2:06 left in the first half, Marino carries left side for a nice 9-yard pickup, which brings us to the 2-minute warning. With your score 10-7, Cleveland is on top. 2nd and inches now, with Marino in the backfield and a counterplay to the left side, and he's got lots of room into Brown territory at the 46. The Redskins going with the no-huddle offense. Griffin goes back to pass, and it's complete over the right side to the 30-yard line. Deshaun Jackson snagging that one. So 1st and 10 from just inside the 30. RG3 goes long to Jackson. It's inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal from the 4. Give us to Pierre Thomas. He's got nowhere to go. And there's a holding penalty on top of that. So from the 14, it's still 1st and goal. Marino gets the carry, and he's stopped by Carlos Dansby in the backfield. So from just outside the 15, it's now 2nd and goal. RG3 goes back to pass, and it's complete over the middle to his fullback, Darrell Young, inside the 1-yard line. And the Browns take a timeout. So from inside the 1, Robert Griffin throws to Darrell Young, and it's a touchdown, Redskins. 14-10 now. Can Stafford do anything with just over a minute to go? He passes to Barnage on the left side, and he's just over the 35-yard line for 1st down. Stafford loading up, throws long. He's got Perriman open at the 15. Touchdown, Browns. It's Brashad against Brashad, and the speed of Perriman wins out and into the end zone. The Redskins are content in letting it go to halftime, so it's 17-14 Cleveland. What an exciting half of football. For a while it seemed like we were going to have a repeat of last year's game, but by the time all was said and done, the air attack of the Browns has put them on top in this one. The Redskins have a passing attack as well, but can it be contained here in the second half? Welcome back, everyone, to FedEx Field and our second half coverage of the Redskins and the Browns. But before we go to the action on the field, let's go to Eurocat Baby with a coach report.
Well, Husker Eurocat, I talked to Coach Gruden, and he was very happy with the way that the passing game has made an impact in this game. But if they're going to be successful against these Browns, their offensive line must block better for their running backs and make some holes for them to run through. In talking with Coach Bettini, it was much the same, but he also said that his defense has to concentrate on getting a little more pressure on the quarterback.
Tell us, have you found out any more about the condition of Kirk Cousins?
I did, and I was told that they have fitted him with a little more padding to the flak jacket. They said that it may inhibit his mobility a bit, but they have to see how he does with it.
Well, let's see if he can keep this Redskins offense going or not. The Browns have it first here in the second half. And from the 25-yard line, Stafford on a play fake goes to Josh Gordon, and he's got room, and he's gone. 20-10, touchdown Browns. Josh Gordon doing a little tumbling act going into the end zone and does a little dance after getting there. That's why this kid is so good over the middle. He's got good hands, and my goodness, look at this. The toughness that he has over the middle, being able to break tackles as he goes, and off to the races and into the end zone goes Josh Gordon. After a quick 3 and out by the Redskins, the Browns have the ball again. Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete to DeAndre Hopkins up the left side. With Turbin in the backfield, he gets the ball and is to the 40-yard line. 5-yard gain out of the deal. Johnson on a counter play to the left side almost moves the sticks. 3rd down conversion coming up. Stafford gives to Malcolm Johnson, and he's got the 1st down. 30-yard line of the Redskins. Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete to Johnson. Malcolm, that is. And he's got a nice 9-yard gain. 2nd and inches. And Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete to Doyle inside the 15-yard line. Now Stafford goes back to pass again, rolls right, and completes it over the middle to Durbin, and he's got the touchdown. I don't know in this league if you get any more wide open than Robert Turbin was. It's something else. That opens up a 17-point lead for the Browns. Now with Kirk Cousins back at the helm, Marino goes over the 30-yard line for a 6-yard gain. With Marino all alone in the backfield, Cousins goes back to pass, and it's complete. Garcon out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Now Cousins goes back to pass again. It's complete to Garcon at the 50-yard line. With an empty backfield, Cousins goes back to pass and almost gets sacked by Barkevius Mingo, breaking up the pass. 3rd and 10, and it's incomplete, broken up by Justin Gilbert. Gives the Browns another shot from the 25-yard line. Stafford throws it to Barnage over the middle, and he has nice yardage. Oh, inside Redskin territory at the 44-yard line. Johnson goes right side and has a nice pickup. And Stafford goes back to pass again, rolls to his right. He runs it. Oh, did he get hit? Ryan Kerrigan. Boy, that kid needs to learn how to slide. Stafford throwing again to DeAndre Hopkins inside the 15, and he's down and hurt. Injured his elbow. We'll have to find out what that injury is all about. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter with your score, 31-14 Browns. The 11-yard line. Stafford goes back to pass, rolls to his left, and hits Johnson inside the 5. From the 2, just outside the 2-yard line, Stafford and fires, complete to Johnson in the end zone for another touchdown for the Browns. And that makes Duke Johnson's 2nd passing reception for a touchdown on the day. Also brings your score to 38-14 in favor of the Browns. Just taking complete control of this game. Completes it to Corey Coleman at the 41-yard line. Their weapon for the Redskins, stopped by Dante Whitner. Reno runs right side at the 47-yard line by Justin Gilbert. 2nd and 4. Cousins goes back to pass, and it's complete to Jackson for a 1st down. Just over the 50-yard line. But Kirk Cousins is down and injured again. That brings in RG3. And we know what happened the last time that he came in. But he completes this one to Jackson on the sideline. 2nd and 1. RG3 passes, and it's intercepted by Carlos Dansby. And tries to get the ball out on the right side, trying to get it to his wideout Ryan Grant. And stepping in front of that is Carlos Dansby. What a season he's turning in. So now the Browns send in the backups. Smith gives off to Malcolm Johnson, and he's up the middle for a nice 9-yard gain. 2nd and inches, and they take too much time. That'll cost them 5 yards. And with that, let's go to Eurocat Baby for an injury report.
The Browns are really happy jumping up and down on the sidelines. This is Carlos Dansby's 4th interception in as many weeks, and they look like they have things well in hand at this point in the game. Now, the injury to DeAndre Hopkins, I'm being told, is pretty bad wrist sprain, and with the score being what it is, don't expect to see him the rest of the day. As far as Kirk Cousins is concerned, he actually got his throwing shoulder bruised, and it looks like RG3 will be taking the Redskins the rest of the way at quarterback.
Neither team can afford those players out, so we hope it isn't too serious. So after the penalty from the 39-yard line, it's 3rd and 6. Smith gives the turban over the right side, and he stiff arms his way for a first down. Mostert is the lone back, and the give is to him, and he's up the middle for a nice 8-yard pickup. 2nd and 2. The give is to Robert Turbin for a first down, and he gets tackled at the 42. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Smith goes back to pass, and he goes long, overshooting his intended target, Andrew Hawkins. And he has another delay of game. He just can't get his calls in fast enough. 2nd and 15. Smith goes back to pass and is complete to Gary Barnage inside the 30-yard line of the Redskins. Now Mostert takes it left side and inside the 15 and out of bounds. Now on 3rd and 9, Smith goes back to pass and rolls to his right, catches a block from Jack Doyle and is tackled. Oh, they say he's short of the sticks. That brings on Keimi Fairbairn for a chip shot, and it's good. And the Browns put another 3 points on the board. So from the 25, can RG3 put together something for the Redskins? And he has a nice run up the middle for a 9-yard gain, which brings us to the 2-minute warning with your score 41-14 Browns. Now with just inches to go, Griffin passes to Jackson for the first down, although it's only a couple of yard gain. Washington going with the no huddle now. Griffin going back to pass, and it's intercepted by Nick Williams. Jordan Reed, tight end for the Redskins, has injured his ankle and is hobbling off the field. Not good for the Skins. I can only think that RG3 misplaced that pass because his receiver was going well outside, and he threw it straight to Nick Williams. Browns just trying to run out the clock now on 3rd and 6. And Johnson goes around the right side and does not make the first down. And the Redskins call a timeout. There was 17 seconds left. That brings on Keimi Fairbairn for a 52-yard field goal, and it's good. With 14 seconds left and an empty backfield for Griffin, he throws complete to Corey Coleman to the 40-yard line. Empty backfield again. Griffin goes back and throws complete to Deshaun Jackson inside the 45. Washington takes their last timeout. Griffin goes back to pass, and it's complete to Corey Coleman. Tackled at the sticks, but there's only 1 second on the clock, and that's your ball game. 44-14. The Browns have the victory. What can we say, folks? At least the Redskins kept it interesting in the first half anyway. A 17-point second quarter was a bit much for the Redskins to handle, I believe, scoring just before the half, and again, the first play after the half, the Browns just started pulling away. The defense really started playing some wonderful football in the second half. It seemed that every time the Redskins started something good, an injury or an interception would take the winds out of their sails. 2 fourth-quarter interceptions would seal the deal for the Browns, sending them home 6-0. The offense had a blast today after they got going in the second quarter. 54% on third downs, 1 of 1 on fourth down, and 5 red zone trips and a score in each of them. The running game could have been a little better, but I have a hard time criticizing the offense when they didn't have a turnover all day long. It put them back in a tie, at least for first place in the turnover difference category, with 8 more takeaways than giveaways, and almost double the time of possession. If the opposing offense doesn't have the ball, then they can't score, right? What a day for Matt Stafford. 17 of 22, or 77% complete for 313 yards, and a personal best for the season of 5 touchdown passes. A 158.1 passer rating, just 0.2% off a perfect passer rating game. A lot of players got touches in the running game, but there were no real clear-cut standouts today. The best thing was there were no turnovers. Woohoo! On the receiving end, there were a lot of players that saw action today as well, but they made a much bigger impact. How about Brashad Perriman? It seems like all this kid does is catch touchdowns. But you know what? I'm good with that. The defense played an outstanding game as well, with lots of players getting in the game and on the stat sheets. Joe Hayden had a tough time against Deshaun Jackson, but then again, he is one of the premier players in the league. He was bound to get scorched a little bit. 3 interceptions for the defense, and holding the Redskin aerial attack to just 14 points was an awesome feat. I would like to see Fabian Moreau contribute a bit more. He's not had a touchdown yet this season, having a better preseason than regular season, but at least there is a threat back there now. Matt Stafford is your Offensive Player of the Week. Wow, what awesome stats. Clay Matthews from the Packers takes home the defensive honor. The next game for the Browns is their biggest challenge of the season, when the Carolina Panthers come a-callin'. Their lone loss for the season was to the Browns' division foe, the 6-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at the strengths of these teams and their league rankings, it's almost scary how closely they align. It's no wonder why the sports writers are saying this one is a toss-up. I think the only reason that they give the Browns a 1-point margin is that they're at home. With weapons like Cam Newton, Demaryius Thomas, and a super strong offensive line, the O of the Panthers is a force to be reckoned with. The only weakness that the defense has is at the safety positions, so the deep ball may be Matt Stafford's friend, but keep in mind that he has to have time to load up and throw that deep ball. Keep in mind that if you enjoyed this video, leave a like so that others can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to be notified when there is a new one, subscribe by clicking on my icon at the end of the video. It's been our pleasure to bring you coverage of the Browns at the Redskins, and be with us in our next episode when the Browns take on the Carolina Panthers in First Energy Stadium. Until then, for Eurocat Baby, I'm Husker Eurocat saying so long for now, and have a good day, everyone.